There is plenty to see and do when you begin your journey through Marvel's Spider-Man 2, so much so that it can be a bit overwhelming. If you need some help getting back into the swing of things, or you want to know what the most important details are for the start of the game, we've got you covered with these 21 essential tips and tricks for Marvel's Spider-Man 2.
Done deal.
Certain missions within Spider-Man 2 require you to specifically take the role of Peter or Miles, depending on the context of the mission. If you happen to be playing as the other Spider-Man when approaching one of these specific objective markers, don't worry about manually switching. You'll get the option to switch at the quest marker before the mission begins. In the opening hours of the game, you might feel inclined to upgrade every gadget and unlock every suit as soon as they become available. While you're free to do this, it's arguably best to hold onto those resources until you unlock the suit tech upgrade trees, as each of these upgrades requires a decent number of tech parts to unlock. Couple that with the fact that the upgrades are more often than not extremely useful, and it's almost a no-brainer to reserve the resources until you have every option available to you: suit tech, gadgets, and suits. While on the skill tree, it's very easy to identify what a node will get you at a glance. The skills that are circular will be a brand new ability, while the skills that are square are upgrades to abilities that you already have. There are two collectibles in the world that aren't tracked on your map: tech crates and spider bots. Tech crates don't lead to any trophies and are not tracked in any way, but they provide you with some much needed tech parts and rare tech parts, depending on the type of crate that it is. Spider bots give you a good chunk of tech parts as well, but these are actually tracked and lead to a trophy. Each one is a fun little Easter egg, and there's a bit more of a story behind them as well.
Is this a Jonah? Parker, put me down!
You'll see these in the world as a big pulsing colourful orb, and then you need to search inside of it to find the bot. If you need more tech parts and want to track down various crates or the spider bots, the All-Seeing perk within the Traversal tab of your suit tech tree will add crate and spider bot icons to your minimap, letting you more easily pinpoint them as you traverse around the city. Unlike the previous Insomniac Spider-Man titles, the fast travel that you'll unlock within each district allows you to instantly go to anywhere you like within that given district, as opposed to needing to use the metro stations in Spider-Man 2018 and Miles Morales. Whilst we recommend you take the time to have fun traversing, if you need to get from one corner of the map to another in a pinch, this is worth keeping in mind. You unlock fast travel in a given area by completing enough activities there. The left and right D-pad buttons aren't really used for anything in this game, so you get the freedom to set them as a shortcut to anything that you want. There are quite a few options, ranging from accessibility settings that you can adjust on the fly to things you don't want to enter a menu for. A cool combo we found was having photo mode set to the right D-pad, Ghost of Tsushima style, and have the left be the camera gadget or the FNSM app. Both of those are set to swiping different directions on the touchpad, but let's face it, when you're getting through all the photo op missions, it's much faster to press a button. Collectible and activity icons will not be automatically available on the map as you start out. Instead, you'll need to actively explore and scan with R3 to tag new discoveries and subsequently mark their locations. Certain activities will have very distinct visual markers, like large dust clouds for Sandman's memory crystal locations, rooftops with a purple hue for Prowler stashes, and waving green spotlights for Mysteriums. Once you've tapped R3 to see the side activity icons, you can aim it in real time and press R3 again to tag it, which will set a waypoint to that location. Upon purchasing one of the various Spider-Verse suits in the game, you unlock the ability to apply comic and frame rate effects to any suit of your choosing. To do so, head to the Visual tab in Settings and enable or disable the Film Style Animation and Comic SFX options as you see fit. If you've put together a screenshot with awesome composition and a perfect pose in photo mode, but decide that your suit isn't correct, you might worry about having to quit out and switch suits, losing the shot in the process. Never fear, whilst inside photo mode on the camera tab, not only can you switch between all currently unlocked suits, but also any purchased suit styles. While exploring New York City, random city crimes will continue to appear. Completing these will reward you with tech parts and XP, but don't feel obliged to do them all, as there is no downside or consequence for ignoring them. If you happen to see the other Spider-Man already fighting the criminals, however, it's actively worth jumping in and completing it. These will reward higher amounts of both tech parts and XP, and you can have fun interactions with your partner during combat and once the area is clear.
Please, don't leave me!
While not essential, sometimes within story missions or completing certain city crimes, you'll need to carry a civilian to a nearby ambulance. As you approach the ambulance, you'll have the chance to press triangle to immediately zip next to the gurney to save you a few seconds.
There you go.
When gliding around with your web wings, you might feel the need to gain some more speed. Wind tunnels are the optimal way to do that, but sometimes it can be a little tricky to spot where they are. As you travel around, hit R3 every now and then to scan the environment, and you'll see wind tunnels highlighted for a brief period of time. Wind tunnels are also multi-directional. While the visuals of the wind can be heading in a certain direction, you can enter from any angle and choose to go in either direction, and it'll be just as effective. Also, keep in mind that you can dip in and out of wind tunnels at any time, so don't feel obligated to stay in a wind tunnel for its entire length. Steering with the web wings can be a little finicky, but something worth noting is that once you are inside of a wind tunnel, you can essentially relinquish any steering control and let the wind tunnel carry you automatically. The only exception to this is if a sharp turn is involved, as the momentum will often shoot you out the side of the wind tunnel if you don't course correct and lean into the bend. Keep an eye out for rooftops that have orange lights on them. These denote super slingshot locations, which act as one of the most efficient forms of travel across the city. They are also highlighted on your minimap with a slingshot icon, and can be found most often near the Hudson River that separates Manhattan from Brooklyn and Queens, providing you with a super effective way of crossing the water. Remember in Spider-Man 2018 and Miles Morales, where landing in the water just meant awkwardly floating until you could zip to something? Well, that's no longer an issue in Spider-Man 2. Now the Spider-Man can skate across the water as long as you have the speed to keep it up. And it's really easy to keep that speed going as long as you switch between web zipping, gliding, and water skating. It's also worth doing just for the animation alone. Swinging is the quintessential element of any Spider-Man game, and that is no different in Spider-Man 2. If you want to stick primarily to swinging, one of the fastest ways to traverse is by staying low to the ground and letting go of each swing early in the arc so that you travel more horizontally and less vertically. Doing this preserves your momentum and prevents the horizontal slowdown that jumps at the end of an arc or diving entail. If you are looking for the swinging in the game to be that much more challenging and involved, there are two things you can do to immediately alter your experience, both of which are within the settings menu. Under gameplay, you'll find the option to turn fall damage on, and under accessibility, you'll find the option to change how much swing steering assistance you receive. With these settings altered, you will run the risk of taking fall damage if you fail to continue a swing or a glide, or if you land from an unsafe height. While there is still a significant amount of leeway before damage is received, the potential for taking substantial damage will provide more of an exciting risk-reward experience. Reducing the swing steering assistance will also make your swinging experience more challenging, as the amount of automation and assistance with each swing will be reduced, making your web slinging far more physics-based. You might not be able to turn your brain off as much with this setting, but you can become more purposeful and skillful with your swinging with the assistance disabled, if you put in the time. You can unlock the slingshot launch ability to gain an excellent way to start your traversal, whether it's into a swing or a glide. It's the perfect initiator after completing a street crime, or after an awkward landing on a rooftop kills your momentum. While this is a rare occurrence, if you happen to be in a spot where you can't web zip to a designated spot and initiate a point launch, aim with L2 and then manually press R2 to zip to that location. As you reach that spot, you can still initiate a point launch regardless of what you chose to zip to. The Aerial Escapade skill in the shared skill tree helps you to recharge the Spider Dash and Spider Jump skills via air tricks, point launches, wind tunnel usage, corner tethering, and diving. As you can imagine, this can be incredibly useful to maintain momentum and can easily lead into a powerful web wing glide. Those are all the tips and tricks we have for you in this video, but if you need a hand with a difficult mission or finding collectibles, we have plenty of walkthroughs, tips, an interactive map, and more in our Spider-Man 2 wiki. You can also watch our Spider-Man 2 review for our full thoughts on the game. For everything else video